Hey guys, Elliot here. As always, if you like true crime content, you've come into the right place. We uncover solved and unsolved cases. Well, the case I brought you guys is fairly recent, having occurred just 2 years ago in 2023. Unfortunately, we are far from saying it has been solved. Our story will be taking place in the state of Texas. Being the second largest USA state by both area and population, Texas is known for its distinct culture and strong identity, rooted in independence and pride. Furthermore, it's host to a wide range of outdoors attractions, from the Gulf Coast beaches to the rolling hill country. Austin, the state capital, got labeled as live music capital of the world, while Houston is considered a major metropolis and is home to the NASA's Johnson Space Center. This is the unsolved murder of Austin Adam Kanuch. Imagine just for a minute to be in your home in the dead of night, sleeping in the dark comfort of your bedroom with your spouse, when suddenly, in just a matter of seconds, someone turns your life upside down forever. On September 21st, 2023, Mary and Austin Kanuch closed on their dream home. You could read excitement on their faces, eager to be new homeowners, eager for new schools, just a fresh start they were looking forward to. Unbeknownst to them, though, that night they fell asleep dreaming of their new lives together, but awoke to horror. On September 22nd, 2023, Austin Kanuch was attacked at his home in Houston, Texas. When police arrived, he was already beyond saving. The 39-year-old succumbed to his injuries. Who was Austin? He was born on February the 9th, 1984 in Houston, Texas, to Floyd Wayne Kanuch and Celine Louise Miller. He was joined by two younger brothers. Well, something we should say is that the 39-year-old Austin loved the state of Texas. In fact, he lived there his whole life. As far as his early life, there's not much I found, but what is known is that he attended Langham Creek High School in Houston, where he graduated in 2002. Afterwards, Austin continued his studies, deciding to attend Sam Houston State University. During his college years, he got a choir scholarship, being a member of the Langham Creek Choir. Being into sports and all kinds of music, he also sang with the Madrigal Choir. Furthermore, he got a Bachelor of Arts in Broadcasting and Journalism. There's more to the list. He was also an active member in the TKE, Tau Kappa Epsilon fraternity like his grandfather, Louis Denton. After a quick search on the internet, I found that TKE is one of the largest collegiate men's social fraternities in North America, with over 306,000 initiated members and 213 active chapters. I'll quote what is stated directly from the site tkE.org. Quote, TKE's mission is to aid men in their mental, moral, and social development for life. Tau Kappa Epsilon contributes to the advancement of society through the personal growth of our members and service to others. TKE builds better men for a better world. Unquote. The organization has chapters all over the United States and Canada, rendering it a nationwide. On top of that, it has ancient roots, being founded back in 1899. What impressed me is the number of brothers, including the US President Ronald Reagan, who was the recipient of the Order of the Golden Eagle. Let's get back on track. It was during the 2000s that Austin met what was going to be his future wife, Amy Kristen Kanuch. Their marriage lasted a whole decade, from 2008 to 2018. The young couple welcomed two stunning daughters now in their teenage years, Abigail, 16, and Amelia, 13. The Kanuch family resided in Spring, Texas. Unfortunately, at a certain point, Amy and Austin decided it was best to drift apart from each other. Their relationship didn't work out, so they divorced. There's little information released about Amy, but we are going to discuss it later on in the video. The now father of two was reloaded with responsibilities on his shoulders, among them work, plus having to raise two daughters up, but was still looking for love, true love, and the great moment arrived. Basically, at the beginning of the pandemic, on March the 7th, 2020, he married a woman, Mary Payne Kanuch. I assume life as a newly married couple had to be a little challenging during the pandemic. Do you guys remember all the restrictions and rules? Another baby made his way into the world, this time a son, named Pierce, a toddler. The Kanuch family moved to Houston, Texas, where all family members settled, in a rental home on Grape Leaf subdivision of Copperfield, West Harris County. In addition to that, they had recently bought a property nearby where they had plans to move. A new blank and fresh chapter to be written, many will say. A home with a basketball goal stand in the driveway is where loved ones said Austin Kanuch lived with his wife and three children. Here's an extract of what Austin's obituary notes read. Quote, he loved barbecue, playing golf, and attending music concerts. Austin had a passion for cars and worked as an internet sales manager at West Houston Infinity. He won many awards and loved his profession, but most of all, Austin loved his family. He was a great provider, a loving husband, and a dedicated father and son. Unquote. You can get a glimpse into how lively this man was. Being fond of his family and work, he reached many relevant goals in his life. Nevertheless, he cultivated many hobbies as well. Music-wise, I wondered what type of music he was into. Maybe rock, jazz, or whatever. Well, I'm not an expert by any means, so I don't really know. Celine Miller, Austin's mom, revealed during an interview, quote, he was one of those types of people who, when you walked into a room, he lit up the room. He kind of had a big voice and a big personality. You noticed them when he was there. Unquote. Anyways, as many of you already got, Austin was passionate about his job. He had worked as an internet sales manager at West Houston Infinity since 2019. He fought so hard to achieve his goals, and he did, becoming one of the dealership's top performing. Let's try to move forward to the fateful day that changed the lives of the Kanuch family, friends and relatives included. A day which had taken this young life too soon from all his loved ones. September 22nd, 2023, Friday. Our tragedy occurred in the rental home on Grape Leaf Lake Drive in West Harris County. Fortunately for them, Abigail and Amelia, Austin's teenage daughters he had from a previous marriage, were away from home that night, leaving Austin, Mary, and little Pierce in the quiet home. We're going to set a timeline to get a better understanding of what happened that night. At 3:23 a.m. on September the 22nd, 2023, a person was spotted on surveillance cameras, someone on a mountain bike, according to Service Head Gonzalez, being described as post-adolescent. The young man was riding toward West Road. Just 3 minutes after, at 3:26 a.m., he got to the Kanuch place on Grape Leaf Lake Drive. Now, there's roughly an hour time gap between 3:26 a.m. and 4:24 a.m. when he was captured on surveillance leaving the residence, heading south towards West Road. This is when he acted. The unknown individual broke into the Kanuch residence and attacked Austin, viciously stabbing him while still asleep in bed. Mary, Austin's wife, was able to place a 911 call as soon as possible, while the suspect was still inside. You see, many things can happen in the span of time of an hour. What exactly happened at home is up to debate. Afterwards, at 4:28 a.m. in the morning, the young man was captured on surveillance again, coming back south on Spring Green Drive into the neighborhood he was first spotted in. Neighbors later recounted they didn't notice anything hunky the night before the fatal attack. Is it possible no one among the neighbors didn't notice anyone suspicious in the area in the previous days or weeks? Maybe this person had canvassed the area in the darkness of night in order not to be caught. Austin was stabbed in the neck and was in urgent need of assistance, so he was brought to the hospital, but there wasn't anything else that could be done. He succumbed to his injuries. At first, deputies responded to a call for family violence, but then once Austin passed away, it turned into a homicide. One of the saddest and most heartbreaking tasks of the Harris County Sheriff's Office was to notify Kanuch's parents about the killing. A call was made in the early morning hours of September the 22nd. When they got to Austin's place, unfortunately it was too late. Celine Miller, Austin's mom, was devastated. She collapsed to the ground. The parents spoke up about the tragic happening. Celine took her opportunity to express her desire for justice. Here's an extract of what she said. Quote, "I just want people to know that he was special, and he deserved better. Even if we don't find justice in my lifetime, I know that when the person meets their maker, there will be justice there. Justice will be served." Unquote. I couldn't agree more with Celine. Wise words. It's about a family who has been left in the dark and needs to know what happened to Austin. She later explained that there are not going to be any special memories anymore. They're so cruel for a mom to witness the murder of your own son. It appears as if the killer had made his entry to the home from the back, made his way inside and attacked Austin. Texas Governor Greg Abbott disclosed during a press release in September 2025 that the reward has been raised up to $20,000 as an incentive for leading tips for an arrest that has still to be made. The offer doubles the other $20,000 offered by the Texas Crime Stoppers, equaling to $40,000. Furthermore, Governor Abbott reiterated the appeal to anyone in the know about the heinous crime to contact the Texas Crime Stoppers hotline or submit an anonymous table line. The state of Texas keeps in regular coordination with local law enforcement to provide all necessary resources to bring justice for this case. A question pops up. What do we know about what happened on September the 22nd, 2023 at 8600 block on Greenleaf Lake Drive? Not much information has been revealed to the public as of many details found at the crime scene, besides the most relevant. Investigators meticulously analyzed Austin's life, professionally, socially, and personally wise, in order to find a lead, a potential motive that might somewhat provide a rationale, but even his co-workers and friends described him as a calm and peaceful individual, someone who would avoid conflicts of any kind. Mary, Austin's wife, was cursed out as a suspect by the Harris County Sheriff's Office. An entire neighborhood was left in shock. The community feared for their safety. An update, if we can call it so, was provided just a few months ago in May 2025 by Detective Kelly Turner with the Harris County Sheriff's Office. What was disclosed is that a large area has been canvassed, collecting surveillance footage as well as witness statements from North Midwell Village in Copperfield area. A precious finding at the scene was a weapon, described as an edged weapon. Let's have a discussion together about the possible motive behind this attack. Might it look like a robbery gone wrong? Well, no items were stolen, so this theory was quickly ruled out. Could Austin's ex-wife have played a role in this offense? Of course, we don't know. By any means, I'm trying to accuse her, of course. It's just a theory that might fit in for someone. Investigators tried to track down every possible lead. They have received a handful of tips, but nothing solid. One thing worth noticing is that it doesn't look like a random attack, but something targeted. Austin was a chosen victim. Who could harm such a calm, quiet, and apparently upstanding guy, minding his business and raising 3 children up? He had so much looking up at his direction. As said earlier, he was a successful and well-respected car salesman at Infinity. His mom, Celine Miller, as said earlier, stressed how calm his son was, a peacemaker, literally a friend to everyone, that would not engage in confrontation. On May 29, 2025, a Crime Stoppers Houston conference took place, and Celine had the chance to speak out directly to the public. It appears very weird to me. I can't come up with a plausible rationale. Was Austin involved in something no one knew about? This doesn't seem to be the case. The investigation conducted didn't turn up anything of that nature. Needless to say that the Kanuch family is desperate for answers. Celine, Austin's mom, said again, quote, "We are always waiting for the other shoe to fall. Waiting for the other shoe to drop, you know. And we are always waiting for the phone to ring to say, 'We've made an arrest,'" unquote. The void left in their lives is huge, a pain that never goes away, especially for Austin's daughters and son, who will have to grow up without his amazing father. Furthermore, the area was thoroughly canvassed to get CCTV camera videos to catch the suspect movements, despite the poor quality of the footage. Sadly, no arrests have been made and the killer is still out there. In spring 2025, a GoFundMe was opened to increase the reward for Austin Kanuch's murder case. All donations will fund the reward at Crime Stoppers of Houston. At the current moment, as of November 2025, almost $13,000 have been collected, and this means a lot for the Kanuch family, enabling them to find answers for the case. 2 long and painful years have passed since the passing of Austin Kanuch, with still no answers to grasp on. A Facebook page was created on August 29, 2025, just a few months ago, named "Who Killed Austin Kanuch?" It mainly aims both at honoring the life of Austin and keeping his story alive in the hearts of family, friends, and community. Bottom line, raising awareness to help the family find concrete answers to this horrific crime. On September the 1st, a Facebook post was made by Austin's brother-in-law, and it was named "Wake Me Up When September Ends," just like the Notorious song. Here's an extract, quote, "September will always be a hard month for us. It's the month my brother-in-law, Austin Kanuch, was murdered 2 years ago. Every year when September begins, I'm reminded of what we have lost, and how much justice is still missing. The words of the song 'Wake Me Up When September Ends' hit differently when the pain of losing a loved one is tied to this month. But instead of sleeping through it, we chose to remember Austin, share his story, keep his story alive, and keep pushing for answers. Please, take a moment this September to think of Austin, share his story, and stand with us as we continue to seek the truth." Unquote. This touching caption speaks for itself. It's let transpire the pain the family has been through and reminds me of how essential sharing a story like this might be. To bring answers and justice above all, clearance for who's really responsible in Austin's death. On a recent Reddit post, a conversation made its way about the possible motives behind the murder. Someone even claimed the person caught on surveillance camera might be a woman, not a young man as surmised by investigators. Needless to say, this is just pure speculation. One theory I came across was that Austin's ex-wife might be at the heart of the killing due to the daughter's primary custody issue, or even Mary, Austin's current wife. By any means, I'm trying to blame it on them. I want to make clear that Mary Kanuch has been cleared as a suspect, so it was deemed she had nothing to do with the murder. The theory goes that maybe Mary was cheating on Austin, having hired someone to get rid of him. I'll pose the question to you guys. You make your own opinion on that, but I will feel bad to accuse this poor wife of something so unfair. I believe she must have been devastated to lose her loving husband. I don't know what to think of. What is known is that she didn't really speak up to the public like Celine, but chances are she preferred to maintain her privacy and not get involved in the media stream. We know that Austin and his ex-wife had divorced a few years ago, and Austin got primary custody of the two daughters. Little has been revealed about the whereabouts in their relationship, maybe for privacy reasons as well. Well, that's the end of the video, guys. I hope that this case might reach as many people as possible. That might be of help for the Kanuch family, friends and relatives included. Justice needs to be served for this young man, with still an entire life ahead of him. Austin will forever stay in our hearts. If you have any information, please don't wait and contact the Harris County Sheriff's Office at 713-221-6000. Alternatively, you can either call Crime Stoppers of Houston at 713-222-TIPS 8477 or contact Crime Stoppers anonymously. See you in the next episode, and until then, stay safe, stay aware.